Hi class and welcome to week 3 where we'll be discussing social media. We're going to cover in particular a few different social media platforms. We'll be looking at Twitter, we'll be looking at Instagram, and we'll look a little bit at Snapchat, and also we'll be delving into Facebook very briefly with a non-graded assignment, just a little bit of information. You can test it out by using a Facebook fan page. Facebook fan page is a terrific way of curating information into one particular platform, and there is a little bit of information in the LMS for you to work on. First of all, it's important to say that social media can be a tremendously powerful communication device. It's a great way to get your message out to a variety of different constituents, whether that's parents, whether it's athletes, whether it's local media channels. It's a terrific way to get your message out there. It can be used in a really, really positive way to market all the wonderful things that you're doing, your coaches are doing, your athletes are doing, your programs are doing, and spread that word near and far. However, it can also be a tremendously dangerous platform because a negative message or one flippant comment can be rebroadcast and suddenly overnight can blow up to be a real problem for you and for your program. You only need to Google social media perils or coaches dismissed because of social media faux pas, and you'll see many, many different articles that will highlight all of those issues for you. Now, as ever, a tool can be used very well, and ignorance is no excuse. So you really want to make sure that you understand how to use those social media platforms effectively and safely. And that's what you'll be learning this week during our class on the assignments. One recommendation that I have for you specifically is to understand the difference between your own personal social media platforms and ones that are responsible for the institution. If you are tweeting or posting on a social media platform as a representative of an institution, whether that's a university or high school or simply on behalf of your employer, you need to make sure you understand any and every policy that that organization has about how you post. That would include what kind of language you use, whether you can use or are permitted to use videos or photos of other people without their permission. It is really, really important that you check out all of that. Most companies have somebody who will be in charge of the social media platforms, and I recommend that you sit down with them and ask them questions about what you can and can't do, and what they might recommend as best practices. Make sure you learn all those. It's also important to understand that having your own personal social media platform doesn't mean that they're not linked. And that means when you, even if you set your own personal platform as private and you have a certain number of friends and acquaintances that perhaps you're interacting with, sometimes their retweets or their postings on Facebook take you out of that private realm, and suddenly what you've put on there is now public. And I can tell you that parents of students, as soon as they are told the name of their child's coach, one of the first things that they do is look them up and see what their social media platforms have. They want to find out as much as they can about their coaching staff. Okay, so very important that you understand that just because you have a private social media platform, you need to be very careful about what you're posting on there and what you're rebroadcasting on there, because that is very, very easily out into the public domain. I would suggest that you sit down with somebody on your site and go through that. I would also, before you take a new job, look through any social media postings that you have, any accounts that you have open, and make sure there's nothing on there that would be untoward. This week, you'll get a chance to create some platforms that will be used for this class. You may choose to use some of your own existing platforms to complete the assignments, or you may just set up some brand new ones this week. Perhaps you're already using all of the different platforms personally, but maybe you're not. Maybe you want to try some of these out and see what's best. Another piece of information that I want to let you know is that you have to be careful to understand what your audience is. So you're sending a message, you're trying to market your program, but you need to know who is going to be receiving that message. And different people will receive that message using different platforms. Trying to get your message out through Instagram will reach a certain demographic, a different demographic using Facebook. Okay, so you need to understand that, and sometimes it might you might want to talk to other coaches in your area, or maybe some of the athletes that are in your programs, and find out what kind of social media platforms they're using and get to understand them a little bit more. We've targeted some of the major players in Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter this week, and hopefully that'll be a useful resource for you as you go through this unit. As always, I wish you the best of luck with your assignments this week. I know it's kind of a short week because it's been a holiday with Labor Day today. So I wish you all the best and encourage you to reach out to me via my cell phone if you have any questions. As many of you already know, I open my brand new school at UCLA this week. We have our first day of classes tomorrow. It's likely to be a busy week for me, but you can always reach out for me with any questions. And you can also crowdsource any of the information in our discussion forum that I posted online. I wish you the best, and I'll look forward to seeing your work soon.